Hi guys, let's try to solve a Leetcode problem. This is a medium level problem. I will read it once again for you. You are given the head of the linked list, which contains a series of integers separated by zeros. The beginning and the end of the linked list will have node value equals to 0. For every two consecutive zeros, merge all the nodes lying in between them into a single node whose value is the sum of all the merged nodes. The modified list should not contain any zeros. Return the head of the modified linked list. So it's easy to understand, at least. So we have this list. We can be sure that the beginning of the list and the end of the list will always be zeros. We do not need to check that. Here we have this saying, the beginning and the end of the list will have node value equals to 0. So we need to create another list for this one. For example, it should contain 4 and 11. Here we go, it's 4 and 11. It has just 2 items because the first couple of zeros have just 3 and 1 in between. Therefore, the sum of these two is 4. And likewise, this other pair of zeros contain 5, 4, and 2, and the sum is 11. So that's the problem. So I'm going to solve this in Python. Actually, I'm sorry, this is going to take a long time because I didn't touch Python for a year now. So I will make ridiculous mistakes, but it is what it is. So here we have it in comments. So this is hidden from us. In comments, we have the definition of list node class. This is a single element which represents this number with the link to the next element. That class defines each of these circles with number and arrow. So we have the number which we can get with .val, and we have an arrow which we can get with the dot next. That will help us to traverse over the linked list, and obviously we need one. So we need to return a linked list, or at least the head of the linked list. So it says return the modified linked list, but I'm going to take the easy way of solving the problem, which is creating a new list. Hopefully it will accept the solution if at least the contents is right. So obviously we need the return value, and the return value is going to be of class list node, because head of linked list is list node. So let's create it with I'm not sure if we can keep passing a value. We can check actually. We can check print arrow. We can check to see what's happening. So run. Okay, it's wrong answer, but at least we get some output, which is not too bad, right? So let's keep it like this for a moment. So what we want to do is using a while loop. While, let's say, true, then we will modify it. So what I'm thinking of is walking over the list, and when I get to this 0, I can at that moment I can have the sum, which I will add to the return value linked list, right? So let me think. So the problem is that we have this initial 0, and it's always going to be there, but we can play with that. We can say that the head of the head is equal to the head next. So imagine an arrow here, and this is that arrow, but we move that arrow one element forward so that we start with the second. We start our loop with the second item. So obviously we shouldn't have true here, so we need to think about it. But I prefer moving forward before thinking about it. So in fact, what should we do? We need to move until we have this head returning a non-false value, right? Let's check it out. While head and print head, and head is equal to head next. So we should see, let's print values. We should see this list, the list of the elements we have. Head doesn't have value, which is strange. So I was warning guys about this. Because it doesn't complain on next, let's see for a moment what does it print on next. Object has no attribute next. So something I'm doing wrong, but the thing is that we enter the loop, right? We enter the loop, which means this gets the value. So let me actually try before even entering the loop. I will do this. Actually, for some reason, it doesn't complain here. So let's print head then. Print head value. See what happens. So if it doesn't complain here, why does it complain in the while loop? It's not clear. It didn't print anything, which is strange. But it also didn't fail. So for somehow I can access the head next, which is not bad. Let's think a little bit, right? Okay, for some reason it didn't print anything, which is strange. It is really strange. While we are thinking, let's try to print just the value of head and see what's in it. Why does it take this long? It shouldn't, right? I'm confused a little bit. Head, okay. So we are last executed input. This is just an input. This is not something we are printing. Anyways, let's not stop on that. Obviously, that's important, but let's not stop on that. Let's think a little bit. So, okay, let's say head is okay for the while loop. What are we going to do? So we are looking for 0, right? If head value is equal to 0, so obviously we need to have some of the values equals to 0. So if that is 0, that means that we reached this point at the first iteration of the loop. So we start from here and we finally get here. At that moment, we need to have some. So somewhere, so let's have pass here, pass, and then else if it's not, else sum win is equal to sum v plus head value, something like this. So here we have to create the next element. Sorry, we have to create the next element of our return value. So return value next should be equal to let's say, create a node with value of sum v, and then reset sum v, because we need to count another sum of another pair of zeros between another pair of zeros. Therefore, after pushing this to the return value, which is a linked list, we need to reset the sum back to 0, like we have on the line 11. So this is what we have here. So maybe this may work. This doesn't work for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, we can debug. Can we? No, we can't. They ask for money. So it has no method, so it's just the value. So why shouldn't I be able to get that? Actually, I can. That's the reason it doesn't fail on line 9. It's strange. It is really strange. Let's try to print airwall again, because we have success on that. Let's see how does it fail. So we don't return anything. That's a mistake of ours. Let's do that. Return airwall. That's the reason it fails with timeouts. Probably it will be faster. Actually not. Oh, I know why. We need to, yeah. So because we are not moving forward, we need to move forward. Head is equal to head next. Head next. Probably yes. Head is equal to head next. Yeah, I'm confident this should be there. Okay, cool. We've got the wrong answer. We've got an answer which says 0 and 9. So this is cool, actually. We've got an answer, and let's check the test case. So it should be 4. At the beginning, it should be 4, and we have 0, but for some reason, we have the latest one, 2 to 5 equals to 9. We have the latest one with the proper value. So this is interesting. Let me think. If sum is equal to sum plus head, okay, we are on a node with a number, we add the value of the head to the sum, and if we are on the value which has 0, what are we doing is we are creating a new node, adding to that to the next node, to the next of the current node, right? Airwall next, yes, of return value, and then we reset the sum, and every time we move head forward. So it's not clear to me why do we have 0, but it has to be connected with this. So, but we are not doing anything wrong here. Let's think more. Let's think more. At least we are doing good here. Value, when we print the values, actually, everything seems to be right. Can you see it? So we calculate the value. We calculate the value properly. What were we doing? We were printing the return value. So we were calculating. So it seems to be overwriting. It seems to be overwriting. But how is that possible? Let's remove this last part and rerun it again. Yeah, we are having the last one, and if we remove this one as well, we can see if the hypothesis with overwriting the proper value with 0 is actually true. No, it's not. It's not. Can we actually bring the, yeah, this is enough, I guess. Let's think about it. Let's print the, so we have the initial 0, which is strange. So what are we doing is we are creating an empty item. We are creating an empty node, and then here we are adding another node. So we are creating a list which will also contain a 0 because the default value is 0, as we can see from here. So that's not good. We don't need that. What can we do? What can we do is what actually we can do. What can we do is well, wait a second. What if I create return value here? This will fail, right? It does, because it's not defined. Maybe there's a trick in Python where I can postpone creation of that. But it's obviously it's not my main problem. It will just add a wrong 0 at the beginning. And this is, by the way, is also an interesting case we need to think about, but let's keep it simple now. Let's rerun it again. What do we have is just 2 items. Why is that? Why do we have just 2 items? What's going to happen? So we are moving it forward, then sum is 0, then we are, it's not equal to 0, value is not equal to 0, we are going to have 3, and then we will have 4, and then we will have 0 finally. The value of sum v is going to be 4 at that point. So we are creating a node with that value and assigning that to the next, and then we are printing it. Here is it, right? The value is 4, next is known. everything seems to be okay. So we have, this is the case. Value is 0. Next is list node, which has value of 4. And the next is none. So it starts with 0, which we need to fix somehow. And then we are resetting the sum. And then we are moving the head forward. And then we are moving the head forward. So we are moving it here. It's not 0, so the sum is going to be 4, then 9, then 11, then 0. And then, Airwall next. So we are not, okay, I got it. We are not moving the pointer to the newly created, we are not moving the pointer to the newly created node. Let's think, so we need to have something like this. Airwall is equal to airwall next. Like we are doing here, we also need to move to the next node, which is just had been created by us on the line above. So let's see what happens. So it's what's going on? What's going on? Airwall is equal to airwall next. Now we don't have that. Airwall next is equal to this thing here. Then airwall is equal to airwall next. So what I'm getting wrong here? We are creating a node, then we are saying that we already have a node which is known as a value of the next. So we need to change that. And the new value is going to be the list item, which has next as known, but the value is the sum. Then we are moving the return value. Return value is Okay. I guess I have an idea. Why doesn't this work? So what are we doing is we are moving to the next, and then we are creating another one. Yeah, and we are losing, in fact, maybe in the memory the list is created, but we are losing this initial value, which is the one that has to be returned. So we need to preserve that somehow. So let's call it current. Current is equal to airwall next, which will fail, I guess. Let's try it. Let's try it. If it will fail, we will remove the next. Okay. Okay. Nothing has changed. That's because here, instead of manipulating the airwall, we need to manipulate current. And current next is this thing, and then current is equal to current next. Current next, let's check. I like checking without thinking. Yeah, current is not defined. Current. Current. Sorry guys, it's too late. I'm too tired. There's no attribute next. Here we go again. Current is equal to error. Let's put it this way. Come on. Now it's better. Now we have the problem. We almost solved the problem. Now we have to think about the initial zero problem. So what are we doing here is we are creating a node with an empty, with a non-empty value of zero, which shouldn't be there. So what we can do, I guess, is return arrow next. Next, will that work? Yeah, because we need to return a pointer in terms of C++. Sorry for confusing you, but that's just, yeah, cool. It's accepted. It's accepted, but I guess we have to play with the test case a little bit. So what's going to happen if we have two consecutive, if that's right, zeros? It's going to know what does it say? I don't get this. So yeah, let's fix the test case. That was a strange. Maybe that they don't want me to take care of that. So let's submit and see. Actually, we have this extra line. It shouldn't be here. And time limit is exceeded. Yeah, it fails on this long example. So how do I make this work faster? Actually, I do not have a good idea. Everything seem to be good in terms of okay. Did I submit? I will submit again without that extra line. Yeah, accepted. It beats roughly the half of the solutions, which is not very good, but it's strange they've accepted this because it has a bug. With that, the description says nothing about two neighboring zeros. You're given a heading list which contains a series of integers separated by zeros. Because zero is also an integer. The beginning and end of the linked list will have, but that doesn't mean that in the middle we will not have a situation like this, like I was showing. So that's strange. I believe they shouldn't accept this. I'm not sure if it's possible to report, but let's think about it. So it's really easy. It's really easy. So if we get here, we can get there from a situation where the previous also was zero, and that means that we never entered this segment of the code, and sum is also zero. So we just need to do an extra check. If sum v is greater than zero, and only then maybe this will slow down our code. But this is just an if statement. Most probably it will not. So what's going to happen if it's not greater than zero? What we have to do is we need to move forward. When it's not greater than zero, it's already equal to zero. So So we shouldn't, it's already equal to 0. When it's not greater than 0, and when it is greater than 0, only then we need to reset the sum, right? If it is greater than 0, because if it is 0, it's either greater than 0 or 0, and if it's greater than 0, that's the only case we need to reset it to 0. So I would vote for this. Let's check it first. It says, I guess they have a check on this. Let's check on their test case, the test case that they are accepting. Yeah, it doesn't break it. I think it makes it better. Let's submit it again. See how the things will change for us. Yeah, now it's better. This is Leetcode. Don't pay attention to that. Actually, it got worse. Is it because of this? So about the second, analyze complexity. Wow, they have a new feature which analyzes the complexity. We have a linear complexity, of course. So this is good. Is it possible? No, it's impossible. We need to check because it's a linked list. We do not have an option. Even if it were an array, it wouldn't change anything. So it can't be better than linear. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, let's submit it again. I'm not sure if it's a proper behavior, to be honest, but I'm curious if it's consistent. So it seemed to be consistent, but I don't want to. Actually, they know that they are. Maybe the description is not good. Maybe we need to report. How should we report? Save feedback. Blah blah blah. Is there a way to report? Report a problem. Actually, there's no obvious thing. Let's check other submissions. This is my submissions. Do they have solutions? Yeah. Do they have solutions? Java, Python with dummy node. What's guy? Yeah, current, moving current. What is he doing? Dummy, current new equals to dummy. Yeah, the current in his case is head. We are not doing that. If current is not equal to zero, he has the opposite check, which may be a better idea. Obviously, it's a better idea because in most of the cases, we are going to have the opposite condition to be true. And then we will skip checking this. Maybe we need to change. Then the rest is the same. We guessed it right. And he's not checking. So let's remove our check as well. Okay, we accept that, but I don't know. I don't like it. In fact, if they make it easy for us to, should we submit it? Yeah, let's try again. No, it's worse. It's just Leetcode, right? It's just Leetcode. We will never get proper estimation, I guess, unless it's paid. But again, if it's paid, it's not obvious. So what I want to do is say, if it's not equal to 0, then I'm moving this up. Then do this, and if it is equals to 0, then do this. it shouldn't break it. And maybe it will make it a little bit faster in normal use cases. So it's not going to be equal to 0. So some will, yeah, it should work. Let's try with run now. It works. Now let's meet. Yeah, let's submit again. I'm not sure where this is being processed, on my machine or most probably on my machine. Yeah, whatever. So I'm done, guys. Thanks for watching. Please add your comments. Maybe you have some suggestions on making this a better program for solving the problem, or maybe you have a better solution. Honestly, I don't think there is a better one from mathematical perspective. And let me know in the comments if you know how to report the problem in the definition or in the solution. We'll see you.